The purpose of this training is to cover the Space Manager application within the Lionspace FIS system. Once logged into Lionspace FIS, you will find the Space Manager application and the PI assignments application if you have FC or FCX level access. We will cover both through the Space Manager application in this training. Below these, you will find many helpful links, including the process manual, classification manual, 2 different invalid reports showing invalid staff faculty assigned or invalid room assignments, and then 2 coordinator assignment reports, one by admin area. You will also find the all room data report, which will literally pull all rooms and all data from the system into an Excel file that you can then manipulate within Excel. If you are not finding what you need in Space Manager, you are welcome to run the all room data report at any time. Below that, there is a Space Manager exercise and also additional user training slides. And below that, you will find the key performance indicator section with KPIs that you have created, which we will cover here in this training. And below that, you will find KPIs that have been shared globally. So let's go ahead and click on the Space Manager application. When Space Manager loads, we will find a grid view at the top and a graphical view at the bottom. These represent the 2 distinct ways that you will use this program to find and report on information or to actually manipulate space and make changes to space and employees. So first we will cover the grid view. In the grid view, we have 5 levels at which we can look at space. At the campus level, there are different filters that can be applied, and using the hamburger icon in the middle, there are campus level reports. So I clicked on the hamburger icon and I click on my reports icon, and I can now see that there is a general purpose classrooms, admin listing for F&A totals, and assignable area by room function reports available. We would recommend drilling down to your campus before running those reports so you're not trying to run them against all campuses. At the building level, you will find another set of filters that you could apply and additional building level reports. So again, I click on my hamburger icon, then my reports icon, and I find the rooms updated in the last 90 days and the rooms with occupants and principal investigators, which will show all rooms in that building or set of buildings that I have identified and whom is assigned to them, whether they are faculty, staff, or principal investigators. I can also search at the floor level. There are no floor level specific reports. At the room level, similar to all the other levels, I can search using the filters available. I can also type in a name in any of these levels and perform a search that way. At the room level, if I click on my hamburger icon, which is now at the bottom of the screen, and then reports, I will find the room detail report. This is a 1-page per room PDF report. So high level of detail, something that's good to run against a small subset of rooms. I can also search on employees, and then I can report on employees, similarly hit my hamburger icon and my reports, and then I can run the employee detail report. So we're now going to look for a specific set of information. We're going to try to find available offices in the Buki building that belong to student affairs. So since I am looking for room level detail, I'm going to start my search at the room level. It is important to know that what you're searching applies to the level that you're looking at. So if you search up here, it's not going to automatically cascade down to the room level. So you want to think about the end result first and start at that level. So now that I'm at the room level, I'm going to start applying some filters by hitting my filter icon up here. I'm going to select my admin area first, which will drill this list of rooms down to just student affairs rooms. So I'm going to hit my checkbox for 045. I can select as many of these as I want in each filter set. I'm now going to move on to the building. You can see that the list has gone down to just those that contain student affairs rooms. I'm going to select the Buki building, hit my X to close this out. And the next thing I want to do is drill down to room types. So I've got staff offices and I've got grad or teaching assistant offices. Gonna hit my X here and close that out. And then the last thing I wanted to find available offices. So I click on availability and select available, and then click my X. And here we go. I've got 16 rooms that are available offices in Buki that fall under the admin area of student affairs. So now what am I gonna do with this? Well, if this is information that I think I am ever going to want to search again, I can save this filter set. I click on Save Filters, I click on Save Filter, and then I can put in a descriptive name for this filter set and hit Save. So now I can see this filter set will always be here. If I forget what's in here, I can always click on it and then click Filter Details, and that will show me the details of that filter. I can also click the drop down, and I could click on my triple dot menu there and rename, delete, or create a KPI card from that filter set. So those KPI cards we saw on the home screen, this would be where you could create one if this was something that you want to see every single time you log into the system. In this case, I'm just going to click out of here, simply clicking anywhere on the screen. So what else can I do with this information? Well, I can come down to my hamburger icon at the bottom, and I could see that I have a share link. I could share this list with someone else who has Space Manager privileges. I could bulk update, and we will show you how to bulk update in the next section. I can run that room detail report that we looked at earlier, or I can export this subset of information. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Export, and this is going to quickly generate a downloadable Excel file, which in Chrome will present here at the bottom of the screen. In Firefox, it will be a pop-up. And I now have this Excel file with the list of those 16 rooms and all of the details for those rooms. One thing to note is that this file does not contain the filter set. So I would want to either put it in the name of the file or maybe write into here what those filters are so that I can remember when I reopen the file. Okay, so I can hit dismiss here when I am finished with that. And we have now touched on all of the aspects of this grid side of Space Manager, which is where we're going to find and report on and extract subsets of information from LionSpace FIS. Now we're going to actually make some changes. So I'm going to clear my filters here because I work for OPP, so I'm in a different admin area, and I'm going to look for a space that falls under my admin area that I can actually edit. So if I type Benedict and I hit enter, I get all 42 rooms in the Benedict house. And if I click any one of these gray eye icons to the right-hand side here, that's going to take me down into the graphical side of Space Manager where I can start to make some changes. So this view here looks very similar to the accessibility map and the campus viewer applications. We do have a breadcrumb trail. We are at the room level. We could jump up to the floor or the building level using this breadcrumb trail, or we could hit the back arrow to go all the way back to that grid. Do recommend using the breadcrumbs, the back arrow, and the home button within this application, as opposed to those in your browser, which may take you out of LionSpace FIS entirely. So at the building level for Benedict, I've got lots of information about the building. Below that, I've got the list of all the floors. And below that, under links, I've got the traditional block plans. So if I click on a block plan, it's going to open in the next browser tab. I can then download or print or simply close it out. I can collapse this section using this up and down arrow. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these gray eyes here and drill down into a specific floor of the Benedict house. Once I get to the floor level, I can select multiple rooms by hitting this selector. I could select all or deselect all at the top, or I can select a few. If I did want to bulk update multiple rooms, I could do that by hitting this triple dot menu right here and hitting bulk update. That's going to bring up the things that I can edit about all those rooms at the same time. There is more available if you're just in one room at a time. For now, I'm just going to hit cancel. And then again, I can select or deselect. You can also view by several different things here. So if you hit availability, you can see available, invalid capacity, non-assignable, occupied, and overcapacity. Very helpful ways to apply some filters to these floors and see what's going on in these rooms. I can deselect this by hitting the select icon again, and then drill down into a specific room. So now that I'm at the room level, again, I've got all the different ways that I can view the information about this room up here on the top left. And then if I hit my hamburger icon, and this is a room that falls in my area, that's where I'm going to find the edit pencil to change the information about this room. So as you tab through here, you can see there are editable and non-editable information in here. The stuff you cannot edit is grayed out, and what you can is presented in full color. For now, I'm just going to hit cancel and jump out of here, but that's where I would edit information about that particular space. So now looking at the capacity and occupancy, we saw that capacity was in the window we just viewed and could be edited there. The occupancy and the vacancy are calculated based on the assigned employees. So below here, we can see that there are 2 employees assigned. So we've got an occupancy of 2, a vacancy of 0. We could add an additional employee assignment by clicking Add Assignment and then searching for someone. So we can use their user ID. Once we select them, we have the option of pulling them out of the room that they're currently in, or leaving that checkbox blank, and that would add an additional assignment for that person. We do have cases where individuals need to be assigned to multiple spaces, so you do have the option there. For now, I'm just going to click Cancel. In order to remove an assignment, you could just click this triple dot menu and click Remove Assignment. Below that, the 25 Live equipment section. If this was a schedulable space in 25 Live, I would see all of the features listed there. Under Links is where I'm going to be able to manage my principal investigators. So if I click on that, it's going to open up another browser tab, and it's actually going to open up that PI Assignments application that we saw on the home page. So within PI Assignments, you can view by the room, which since we were already at the room level, we're already seeing it presented here. So we hit our Expand and Collapse menu over here to the left, and then that's where we can add a new principal investigator assignment. Or if there was someone assigned here, we could edit or remove that person. The other way that you can view, if you click on the hamburger icon at the top here, you can view by the principal investigators assigned. So if you click that, we'll actually get a list of people. And so we could sort by building, by floor, etc. And then we could make our changes here using the pencil or the X to remove, or we could add new principal investigator assignments. You can go directly into the PI Assignments application if you're just coming into Lionspace FIS to change PI assignments, or you can go through Space Manager like we just did. For now, I'm just going to close this out, and I'm right back to where I was. If I collapse that level below that, I can see the functional allocations. And so this room is 100% allocated. If I wanted to change that, I could hit my triple dot menu here and edit, and I could change that allocation, either the percentage or what the allocation is. If I hit cancel, I could add a secondary allocation or as many as I needed to. And again, I would just indicate the admin, the functional use, and the allocation percentage for that location. If I collapse this menu, we have now edited all the things that we can about this particular space: functional allocations, principal investigators, employees assigned, and specific information about the room. So one more thing we want to cover within the Space Manager application is the ability to create custom block plans that will show specific information about what you're looking at. So right now on our right-hand side here, we're going to see the View Room By in its default setting. If I click on View Room By, I can change that to By Availability. And that's going to color code this floor plan and give me a legend down here on the bottom right, which will tell me what the color coding means. I could then print this out if I wanted to, hitting my hamburger icon in the middle, and then print. I can also change this to show specific information that I'm interested in. So if I hit Create New View By, I can choose how I want the fill and the border to show up to represent specific information. So if I hit Choose Fill Field here, I can choose what I want to show for my fill. So in this case, I'm going to choose room type for my fill, and that's going to show a bunch of colors that are selected. If I want to change those colors, I could click on them and modify them as I choose. And then for the border, I'm going to choose, again, from these selections, I'm going to choose availability this time. And so now that I've chosen how I want these to display, I'm again going to give it a descriptive title. And then I'm going to hit Save. Okay, so now I've got this color-coded map of the first floor of Benedict by type and by availability that I could then share, save, etc. I can hit my hamburger icon in the middle and my print icon, give the map a descriptive name, and hit OK, and it's going to generate this map with this legend. While that's generating, it is important to note that we have drilled down to a specific subset of information in this building. And if I wanted to then go look at another building, another floor, I'm going to need to create a different view by for that floor because it's going to have different types of space. So we saw that it was pretty easy to create the view by, and certainly worth creating a custom one for each floor to make sure that you're capturing all of the available types that you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and click download. Again, this presents at the bottom. And once I click it, you can see I've got this nice color printout with my room availability and my room type right here. So again, I could download it, I could print it, etc., or I can just close it out. When I'm finished, I can hit dismiss, and that covers all of the aspects of Space Manager, and I can just hit home here to go back to Lion Space Home, and that concludes the Space Manager training.